In this video, we're going to discuss how to solve an equation using a square root. So some things to know before you start this lesson is to make sure you know how to solve general linear equations and then how to take basic square roots. All right, so the first thing is the squared and the square root are opposites of each other. Right? 2 squared is 4, and the square root of 4 is 2, right? You kind of like switch these things. All right, so when you combine these two things, they're going to cancel out. So the square of something squared or the square root squared, these cancel out and they just kind of disappear. All right, so we can use that to our advantage when we're trying to figure out the solution to an equation like this, x squared equals 9. All right, you can solve this in a way that we've learned before. You could say x squared minus 9 equals 0 and factor it and get 3 and negative 3. All right, so that's a way you could solve this, but we're trying to learn how to use square root. So what we're going to do is take the square root of both sides of the equation. And like we just saw, the square root of x squared, they cancel out and I just get x. And the square root of 9 is 3. And you might notice a problem is that when we solve this the way using factoring of quadratics, you get 3 and negative 3. When I solve it using square roots, I only got positive 3. So I'm missing an answer here. All right, and that's because there's a special thing you have to do. Whenever you solve an equation with square roots, you have to remember that the positive and negative answers are possible. Because if I square negative 3, I also get 9. All right, so this is kind of extra thing you have to remember. Whenever you're using square roots to solve an equation, you have to add this plus or minus. All right, and this is what this slide is going to say. You always have to include that negative and positive answer. All right, we normally do that by putting a little plus or minus in front of the number whenever we take the square root. All right, so there's one extra thing you have to remember whenever you're using square roots, because just the way they function with squares, all right, it actually gives you 2 answers instead of just 1 answer. All right, so solve x squared equals 16. All right, if x squared equals 16, I can take the square root of both sides. The square root of x squared is x. Square root of 16 is 4. But because I took the square root of both sides, I get both positive 4 and negative 4 as an answer. All right, the next problem, x squared plus 4 equals 0. Well, I probably want to make that look like the problem at the top, so I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. And x squared equals negative 4. And now it looks like the other one, so I can take the square root of both sides. And now square root and x squared cancel, and I just get x. And the square root of negative 4, we've learned before that you can't take the square root of a negative, so this doesn't make sense, and we just say this original equation has no solution. All right, and it's kind of rare early in your math journey for you to get equations that you actually can't solve. In this case, that's true. All right, there's no x value you could possibly plug in, all right, that would make this equation true. All right, so there's no solution to this problem. All right, so here's the general strategy for solving equations with square roots. All right, the first thing you want to do is isolate the squared term. All right, so wherever you see that 2 exponent, you want to get that all by itself on one side of the equation. Then once you do that, then you can take the square root and make sure whenever you take the square root, you don't forget your plus or minus. And then sometimes you're done there, but other times you have some extra thing you have to do to get your answer. All right, the strategy that we're talking about is really focused on quadratics because there's x squared. But if you had an equation like this, you cannot solve this using square roots because you have the squared thing and the non-squared thing. So just know there's certain times where square roots are not an appropriate way to solve an equation, even though you see an x squared in the equation. All right, but for this lesson, we'll focus on the ones that we can solve. All right, so let's solve this. All right, again, the first thing we want to do is recognize that there's a squared term. All right, so this term's squared. And our first step is we want to isolate this term. So this whole piece, we want to get by itself because that's what's being squared. If we want to get rid of, or keep that red box there, I want to get rid of the 25 by adding that to both sides. And now that the thing being squared is by itself, I can use square roots because the square root and the squared are going to cancel out. And that just gives me x minus 1 on the left. And on the right, I'm going to get the square root of 25 is 5. But don't forget our important step, because I took the square root of both sides, I should get positive 5 and negative 5. In our previous examples, we were done here, but here we're not done because I still need to get rid of this minus 1 that's next to the x. So I need to add 1 to both sides. And here's one thing that's kind of confusing. Some people might say that my final answer is plus and minus 6. I could say I'd add the 1 to the 5. But really, this plus and minus is saying there's two different answers. There's a positive 5 and a negative 5. So that what you can do it two different ways. You could just write the 1 in the front and then do the two options. So the two answers are going to be 1 plus 5 is 6 and 1 minus 5 is negative 4. So those are your two answers. The other way is to separate it into two separate equations and say this is x minus 1 equals 5, x minus 1 equals negative 5, and then solve them that way. All right, but really do whatever works for you. Just know that you can't just add this 1 to this 5 because the 5 is both positive and negative at the same time, which makes it a little confusing. But you just think about it as two separate answers that will help. All right, so here's another one. We want to get the thing that's being squared, which in this case it ends at the parentheses. We need to get rid of the 3 and the 5. All right, whenever we're solving an equation, we do the addition and subtraction first. So the first thing I'm going to do is add 5 to both sides. And now I can get rid of the 3. Right now the 3 is being multiplied by this thing that I want to get by itself. So I'm going to divide by 3. All right, so that's all technically the first step in our strategy for solving these types of things. All right, so the next thing I do is take the square root of both sides. And hopefully you notice that I forgot something. All right, the square root and the squared cancel out. Square root of 9 is 3, but because I took the square root of an equation, I have to put a plus or minus there. And now the last step, I have to subtract 2 from both sides. And just remember, there's two different options. I can do minus 2 plus 3, because I'm subtracting 2 from both sides. Minus 2 plus 3 is positive 1. Minus 2 minus 3 is negative 5. All right, so you get these two separate answers. All right, just remember this plus or minus represents there's two different things. So I can't just say it's plus or minus 1. I have to do the kind of two different operations. All right, I'll do one more example. All right, again, the squared things are the thing we want to get by itself. We add or subtract first. I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides. Then I'm going to get rid of that 2 by dividing. And then I want to take square roots. All right, so I did that quickly, but it's the same steps that we did in the last example. Subtract, divide, square roots. All right, these cancel. Give me x minus 1. On the right, I get the square root of negative 1, and here's where you have to be careful and don't just kind of go into autopilot. I'm taking the square root of a negative, so this actually tells me my original equation has no solution. All right, because I cannot take the square root of a negative number. All right, so whenever you get this square root of a negative, you just kind of jump back to the beginning and say, oh, it's not possible. There's no solution. All right, so here's one for you to try on your own. All right, I'll pause the video and work on it, and I'll show you the answer in 3, 2, 1. All right, the final answer I got was negative 2 and negative 6, but you can just see the steps I did. I add 1 to both sides to get rid of that 1, divide by 5 to get rid of the 5, square root to get rid of the squared, and then subtract 4 to get rid of that 4, and then finally x is by itself. All right, so this is the way that you can solve this equation. All right, so go ahead and practice solving these equations using square root. All right, the most common mistake that students will forget in the individual lesson, they tend to remember, but later on they forget this plus or minus. All right, so make sure you're always thinking about that plus or minus whenever you take the square root of an equation.